Hi, everybody. My name is Bill Soroka, founder of NotaryCoach.com and the Sign and Thrive Notary training course and community. I am so excited today to have two of my favorite people on the line with us. Laura Buer, founder of CoachMeLaura.com and the Notary Symposium, which we're talking about today. Laura, thank you for being here. And of course, Robbie Samuels. Robbie is a virtual event design consultant. He has also written a book. You've done a TEDx talk. And you're known as a networking expert by Forbes and the Harvard Business Review. Robbie, thank you so much for being here with us too.
Pleasure.
Laura, we have been talking I know you have been working a long time on the Notary Symposium. What's going on for 2020?
You know what? I've got great news. We are moving in to our 5th year. And this year, we have been, challenged to come up with new ideas, new ways to deliver it, and I think we've hit the right note. We are making that pivot, and we're going to be virtual live. And that means we're going to still be interacting with each other. Lots of great reasons we decided to do this. One is it allows more people to attend. We were limited by our physical space. The other one is that it allows people who aren't in California to join us. And we really had a couple people, but it was just somebody across the border, basically in driving distance. And we still wanted to make it affordable. So if you're back east, it would be quite a cost to come and join us in California. So we've made it so that everybody has an opportunity to attend. Everybody loves the idea of not just getting the training, but meeting new people, being able to network and talk about either what you're learning or just even building new relationships. And so by going virtual live, we accomplished all of that. So it doesn't matter where you live because the commute is the same. It's from your living room to your PC.
Right. I love that. And Laura, I've had the honor of now participating in 2 of your notary symposiums in California, and they were incredible experiences. And both times you're limited to just about 100 people on each. But I know a lot of people don't even know what the Notary Symposium is. What is the Notary Symposium?
Thanks for asking that, Bill, because we are very different than, say, the big, large national stage or national conference like the NNA, who, by the way, just recently did a beautiful series of YouTubes. But those were all pre-recorded, and so we could not interact with our presenters. Notary Symposium gives a chance for you to do a few things. One is we've identified topics that will help you move a little further, a little faster in your notary business. And we specifically look towards people who do NSA work and do mobile notary work. So everything is fair game. The other thing that Notary Symposium gives you is that opportunity to start your own community, right? And now our community is across the US. Our community doesn't have to be just in our own neighborhood. And I love that because as I get to know other people, and we have that with the TNT call where we're talking to people who are across the country, different time zones, and we get to know each other. And we start to recognize that we're colleagues and that there's an abundance. There's enough for all of us to take part and to succeed. It's not only the one who gets there first. And so Notary Symposium is all about that.
Yeah, awesome. And I couldn't agree more. This is a pivotal part of bringing the community together and really taking it to the next level in that spirit of collaboration and sharing information. So I know you have some incredible speakers lined up and presenters lined up for this event. What can people expect?
So we recruited professionals across the business to find those who do the work. Because first of all, I think it's important that they actually bring experience. They're just not somebody who's talked about it. Second of all, they have years of experience. They're not brand new to the scene. They have demonstrated their own success. And most importantly, their desire to share with you their skill, their knowledge that will help you start your business, increase what you already have going, expand into different areas, give you some ideas that maybe you never would have thought of on your own. So these different topics that we're going to present they were designed because of the feedback that we received from previous symposiums that said, hey, it would be great if somebody could talk about this, right? So we really did not do a whole lot in the area of loan signing work. There's a lot of things going on out there, and we really wanted to be a little different. But this year, because it's been asked, we took two of our speakers and said, look, let's figure out how to specialize within that area. Because I'm all about specializing, nothing general about anything we do. So, you get paid commensurately to the skill, right, that you bring. Generalists are at the bottom of the line. So we want to make sure that we don't just know how to do the typical assignments, but that we have a specialty. And reverse mortgages will be that particular specialty. And we're so fortunate, we're going to have an escrow officer who specializes just in that. So I'm very excited about that in particular. We have another speaker who's going to be talking about a new line potentially of revenue, because we're always looking, how do I expand? And that one's about being an immigration consultant. And if you're in some states, there really doesn't take much to get that going and start running with it. And now you can serve a whole new group of people. The other thing is, even in California, where we do have some restrictions, he's going to share with you how you work with that, and you can still make that viable as another line of business. So I'm very excited about those two in particular. We also think it's very important that you build your level of skill as a notary. And so we will have a speaker talking about standard of care and making sure that we understand what are the resources out there for us. If we don't know the answer, we're out in the field, nobody's with us, we have to make a decision. And it's not a decision for the title company to make or the lender to make. This is a decision for the notary to make. And so how does the notary get there? They need to know what resources they can reach out to and what resources they can self-service. What can they have in their hip pocket? And I have somebody who used to manage the NNA hotline. And I know a lot of us have used that service. And she is incredible. And she will let you know what standard of care really is about and how to access some of these other resources so that you can be sufficient, confident, and competent when you're out there in the field. Another thing that was asked is, I am so fabulous. I've got my skill. I've got my business up and running. I've got my tools, but nobody knows I'm out here. So how do I build that visibility? How do I stop chasing clients and become a magnet so that people are like finding me? And how do I add purpose to the online world, which is how I get that visibility? So I have somebody who's going to talk to you about not only how does it get done, but how you can do it for yourself. And if you can't do it for yourself, don't worry, because I got a guy is going to become your next phrase. All right. When I don't have the skill, I go out and I import it. All right. The other thing in the NSA world is that people don't have a real understanding, I think, of signing services, the relationship to the notary, what they really do to earn their piece of the pie that we know they take, right? And what are some things that come up, and how can we work more as colleagues and collaborate so that we can get the business, because they're doing the same thing we are. They're just in front of us. And so we need to understand that and how we fit in together and how we can work together rather than some of that negative stuff that we hear about. There is so much positive with having a relationship with a good signing service. So I brought one. This one is from back east. All right. So not everybody's from California. I know. She's in New York and she owns a national signing company. She's been a speaker at NNA national stage conferences, and she's going to talk to us about that. And I'm very excited because I think when you pull back the curtain, you're going to see everybody has to do their part, right, to make it all work. Awesome. Finally, I'm the only repeat speaker. Everybody's new faces, new topics. So here's the face, but I have a new topic for you. And that topic is about, it's so big, it's so overwhelming. I have so many things to do to have a great business. I'm not even sure where I start. So I'm going to help you bridge that gap from where you are now with what you have to take that next step, and then that next step to get to where you want to be. All right. We don't have to do it in one step. So we're going to talk about language we use. We're going to talk about connections we make. We're going to talk about the simple things we can do to start moving ourselves in that direction, because it's not about the big leap. So those are the kinds of topics we're going to cover.
Laura, this already sounds absolutely incredible. I love that there's fresh ideas and fresh faces in the mix. And one of the things that I love about your presentations, anything that you do, and I think the entire notary community has come to appreciate, is that when you deliver way over deliver. And it's not just, there's no fluff. It is not about just the inspirational quotes and things like that. That's all super important. But what you walk away with your events is tangible, practical strategies and tools to grow your business and grow yourself on a personal level. So this sounds like it's so in alignment with who you are. I can tell why you're so excited by this. Now, let me ask you a question, if you don't mind. I know that, one of the cool things about live events is the ability to interact with others and network and connect on a different level. How is Notary Symposium this year going to couple that into the event?
I'm so glad you asked that, because I think that is a concern for a lot of people, because a lot of events are moving from this live in person to virtual, and it doesn't always go off the way they think. And so we anticipated that, and we have included 2 experts to help us move through the day. Of course, yourself, and helping us connect with each one of our presenters that day. And of course, all of you, or most of you, probably already know Bill, who is a best-selling author, who runs the TNT weekly video call shows that we do to help build notary strength and community and skill. And we've added a new face, and Robbie Samuels is that new face. And of course, we've heard a little bit about him at the beginning of this interview, but I'd like Robbie to jump in and talk a little bit about how we're going to maintain the best parts of the symposium.
Well, I am a big believer that events are about content and connection. I mean, the reason that we got on planes or drove several hours to go to these events in the past is because there was great content being promised, but also the possibility of connection. In fact, networking is the top driver for why people choose events. 76% of people surveyed by the International Association of Exhibitions and Events, that's what they said, networking. So now the question is, how do we take that same message and bring it to a new medium, the online world? Well, we have quite a few things coming here. And one is, you still have to come with the intention of meeting people. This is not going to be a day-long webinar where we're just talking at you. It's going to be live and engaging. So this is about being there and being present and being fully focused. Phones down, web browsers cleared, emails closed, and then coming right here to the Zoom to come and be part of this experience, because it is an experience. So we're going to be creating something. I mean, I guess one of the things I want to address is that people are really concerned about Zoom fatigue. It's been coming up a lot lately. And I'm going to tell you the 2 things you need to just completely blow that out of concern. One is highly relevant. Laura just described is exactly that. It's the kind of content you need. And the other is a quality presentation that has interaction with the participants, where they can interact with each other, where there's interaction between the participants and the speaker and the content. And there's just a lot of opportunity to just have a discussion. And so I'm going to be working with each of the presenters on their piece. So they're not going to be just one PowerPoint after another all day. Because what? So we don't want that to happen. No death by PowerPoints happening. We're going to be working with presenters to help them think about how to move between slides and video like we're now, how to send people to breakout rooms so they can have discussions during these sessions, or work on something as a workshop and then come back and talk about it and debrief it. We're going to be doing some maybe as interviews. We're going to have sort of like someone advocating on behalf of participants to ask questions from the chat live right as things are coming up so that nothing misses a beat. there's going to be a lot of effort to make sure that the content isn't just dry, being read from the screen, but it's about an interaction, about having a conversation. But more than that, we've designed an entire day to be the experience. So one of my favorite parts of events is actually the hallway, or going down to the bar, or hanging out at a reception in the evening. And so I love the chance, the spontaneity, the serendipity of meeting people, because of course you're all there. You're all there in one space. Well, that's what they're doing. They're gathering everyone, and we're going to have hallway moments, which sounds kind of funny online, but for breaks, we're going to actually send you into a break in a breakout room, where you of course can get up and go take a break if you want to. But we assume some people are going to want to stick around, or like take a break and come back. And so those few folks are going to be your breakout hallway folks for those, few minutes. And then we're going to have an actual, like, nothing's happening now. Stop fearing missing out, because I think the FOMO is real sometimes. We'll have an actual break screen go up with a timer, so you'll know this is your actual break time if you haven't taken one yet, because we do want you to stretch and move around. In fact, one of the things we'll be doing before we start any session is I'm going to lead some kind of energizer. And that could be anything from movement, chair dancing, writing in chat what we've learned from the last session. And then I'm going to turn things over to Bill, who will introduce you to the speaker and the topic, and then we'll kind of kick things off. So what we didn't mention yet, Laura, is actually there is a kickoff party the night before, and there's a wrap up the evening that it all ends. And so we're doing the kickoff reception for a few reasons. One is some of you are not as comfortable or as familiar with Zoom, or maybe you haven't been in breakout rooms and you're not quite sure what to expect. So this is a chance for you to come before we get into the content and just get all that tested out. If you're not sure how to turn on your camera, mute yourself, like we can help you figure that out the night before. But we also assume that you want to get right to meeting other people. So we'll do a brief hello and welcome, a little tutorial about how to get your sort of Zoom set up. But then we're going to have you going in and out of breakout rooms. You're going to probably meet at least a dozen people that night, and just a good way to kind of go into the next day already having no people. And then the end of the day, we're going to have a really fun wrap-up party. And actually would love Laura to talk about this, because it's a really cool theme.
We're going to have a margarita party. And of course, many of you who attended Symposium know that we've had that party at a Mexican restaurant. After we did everything all day, we all drove over a mile to the restaurant, and we ate and drank and just had a fabulous time, and had a chance to just download and unwind and enjoy each other's company. And of course, continue the conversation and build what started during the day. And we're not letting that go. So we will be actually sending some things your way, tangible things in a box in the mail. And it's going to be coming your way to help you celebrate with us.
That's really fun. And one of the other things that we'll be doing during that wrap-up session is you'll have a chance to talk about both what you learned, like what is the takeaway that you're going to implement in your business the next week or two, but also what was it that you learned that you could share? Because sometimes it's not something that you even need to apply to your own business right away, but maybe you heard it in a different way and you're excited to go back to your community to go share some new bit of knowledge, a little bit of teaching you can do, and pay it forward the knowledge you've received. So we're going to be having different breakouts where people get to talk about that. It just helps you solidify the material a little bit more. And of course, exchange contact information, meet each other, and continue the conversation all year long. So I'm really glad, Laura, that you didn't give up your wonderful tradition, and that we will have that sort of built into this as well. But, I think in the past, you had only a few dozen people come, and now literally we could have hundreds of people all getting together and celebrating the end of a long day. So it's going to be really fun. We're going to build in breaks, energizers, lots of networking opportunities. I promise you, this is not just one long, boring webinar. There's nothing webinar about this. This is about live and engaging, interactive, and you really have to be there to experience it.
And what better way to be engaged and excited and celebrate than to win a prize, right? So we haven't talked about that yet, but one of the great things about Symposium is, we love giving away prizes. And we were trying to figure out, how do you make that happen virtually? Because I don't want a virtual gift. And how do I how do I participate in it? And you shared a great way for us to do that. And we have a special sponsor for that wheel of prizes. And some of you know him by the nickname I'm starting to see everywhere, the Gift Genie. Is that what you are, Bill?
That seems like it's starting to stick.
It's
Love
starting
it.
to stick.
Yeah.
And so Notary Coach is sponsoring a wide variety of great gifts that we will ship to your door directly following. That's why we'll be asking for your address, your physical address when you register, so that if you win, yay, something's going to be showing up as a surprise to your door.
Yeah. And guys, we're really going big on that too. So it's not just little prizes, it's the big ones too. And we'll be using that genie list on my Facebook page to pick out some of those awesome prizes on there. So you really do have a chance to get some cool stuff. And Laura, thank you for letting me continue what I love to do, which is to give stuff away at this event as well. It just sounds absolutely, exciting. Robbie, it sounds like, Laura, kudos to you for bringing in an expert that knows how to do Zoom. I didn't even know you could do breakout rooms. I didn't know you could do all this kind of stuff. So this is going to be, super professional, awesome, obviously tons of value here. What would you say is the biggest benefit to a notary who's teetering on whether or not to come to an event like this? What are they going to walk away with at the end when it's all said and done?
When it's all said and done, there are a few things depending on what you're coming with to this event. It may be that you've learned how to feel more confident and competent. So when you're out there doing the work, you feel strong about the work that you do and the service that you're providing. It might be that you're just getting started, but you're not quite sure what your next step should be, and it just seems to be too much. We're going to break that down for you so that it's going to be easier to move forward. And if you're in it all the way, but you'd like to turn it up, right? We are going to help you do that. We're going to identify some new areas you might not thought of before, and you can go home and start implementing. And I think that's what's really important. I always ask those I work with, let's just stick with what can they implement? What can they digest easily and do something with? Because, you feel great at the end of the day, but by tomorrow, if you can't do anything, it's all done. And I want something that you can take and utilize once the day is over.
Yeah, I think you do such a great job with that. And I love that. If you want to turn it up, if you want to get turned, this is the event for you. This is where we're going to do that. I love it. So if people are super excited, now let's tell them what to expect, where they can get tickets, how they can register. You mind if I share the screen?
Sure.
Sure. Let's jump in here real quick.
So while he's doing that, it would be really great if people start imagining themselves already there, already thinking about the people they're going to meet, the content they're going to learn, think about themselves having those hallway moments, and the fact that they can doing all of that from the comfort of their own home. There's no line at the airport to worry about, no traffic on the highway or freeway. There's no, gathering to pack everything up. When it's all said and done, you are back home in an instant. And that's a really nice feature of a virtual event, that you're not needing to go anywhere to still meet everybody.
That's huge. And I think that also speaks to how you were also able to attract different kinds of speakers too, because now you can have speakers from across the country as well, bringing this amazing value. All right, guys. So just for a reminder, Notary Symposium held on Notary Public Day this year, November 7th, 2020. Laura always schedules symposium on or around November 7th, that Saturday. So that's going to be a Saturday for you. And then make sure that we get that. Okay. So here's what you're going to get, guys. First, you get full access to the entire day's events, all 6 live, fully interactive sessions. Remember, these are not recordings. This is live, so you can ask live questions. You can interact with each other. Also, you're going to get that networking in the hallway that Robbie mentioned, plus the kickoff reception, plus that margarita wrap-up party. And at the wrap-up party, there's also going to be additional prizes on that wheel too, given away, right? So the party just continues literally all day long for you. And guys, this is the really important part. You get a guaranteed seat. Now, unlike some of the other live events that we tend to do, this one is limited. Only 250 seats are available. There's lots of reasons that Laura and Robbie did that. So we've locked in at 250 seats only. That's why it's so important to act fast. Laura touched on this a little bit too. You're going to get an actual mailed out welcome package with tangible stuff that's going to help you make a success out of that day. That's only available if you book by October 25th. And then finally, that name prize again, your name actually goes on it. So you get a chance to win over $2,500 in awesome prizes. And I can vouch for that. Early bird pricing. Okay, guys, you have to book by August 30th. So you get all of this for just $69 right now. That's an incredible price for an entire day's worth of this value that Laura's talking about. And if you wait till after August 30th, guys, those seats, if there's anything left, remember there's only 250. If there's any seats left, they're going to be $99 a piece. If you want to jump on this right now and take advantage, guys, jump on to notarysymposium.com. Claim your seat right now. Laura, Robbie, thank you so much for all that you bring to our community, all the efforts that you're putting into creating this incredible online event for us. I'm sure we'll get tons of people interested in this, and I can't wait to see you all there on November 7th on Notary Public Day.
Thanks so much, Bill.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you.